Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga announced Friday he does not intend to run for re-election, setting the stage for his replacement after just 1 year in office. Hopes were initially high for Suga, who took over after Shinzo Abe resigned last September due to health problems. Since then, Suga's handling of the global health crisis and a rocky vaccination rollout pulled his approval ratings down below 30%. Suga said Friday he hoped to focus on battling the pandemic instead.
While I had the schedule to run in the election, thinking about COVID measures and election activities needed an enormous amount of energy. In that situation, I could not do both. I needed to choose one.
Suga's comments cap off a roller coaster week in which he pulled out all the stops to save his job. Ruling Liberal Democratic Party officials said Suga will finish his term as its president until his successor is chosen in a party-wide election slated for September 29th. The winner of the contest is all but assured of becoming premier because of the LDP's majority in the lower house. The government has been considering holding the general election on October 17th.
The Japanese are locked into the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, and that is a private entity, and it's very powerful. And they have their own set of rules and everything. You know, that's why people bid around. Countries bid around the world to hold the Olympics in their countries and everything. And they take the payoffs. You know, because each country is funneling huge amounts of money to hold the Olympics and stuff like that, because it's going to draw in funds and a lot of people. They can make a whole lot of money and stuff like that. But basically, they make their money off of advertising. You understand? Right. The big money comes from advertising. And they have a slew of lawyers controlling it. Right. It's all about the dollar. They want to get paid.
Right.
You know? And if you try to back out, you're going to do it anyway, because contractually, you have to. That's what's happening right now. So, and then you got Suga, who's president of Japan right now, and he's beholden unto his predecessor, the guy before him, Abe. Suga, if he wants to maintain that relationship, he's got to protect Abe. And look, it's just gangsters at the top, So Suga is basically scrambling right now, trying to
maintain.
Portray himself as a good leader and everything, and it's gonna go down. No matter in what capacity, whether it's a lot of people or whatever, it's gonna go down. And the Japanese people, in order to save face, because Japanese culture is about honor. Okay, right. If they make an agreement, they're gonna follow through with it once they make it. Okay, right. But these are difficult times. Of course, the Japanese back down because they don't want to lose face. That's what I keep referring back to, the honor system. They really don't. They don't want to lose face in the world image. So it's a difficult decision, but they got to go through with it. So they're trying to set it up and make it safe enough so that people don't really get sick.
Right. Okay.
From India, from South Africa. I mean, because a lot of people come to Japan because it's a great place to live. There's not a lot of gun violence and stuff like that, and people are very orderly, and the train systems are safe, and it's really a nice place. So people are curious. They want to study how the Japanese do what they do. I live here because not just because it's safe, but because people are cordial. They're kind, and maybe some people are not so kind, but you won't see it blatantly. It's not out front.
It should clear up a lot of things for a lot of people. Well, yeah. Call in and drop some knowledge on the people, and
I would love to, man. I mean, man, this is a blessing coming from you, because I keep to myself, as you know, but I mean, people need to to learn. All right, I'm gonna let you go, man.
I appreciate it.
Hey,
Your family,
man. Anytime.
Yeah. And thanks a lot. You have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Check 1 2 1 2.
The stuff that he was saying, was basically it made sense in
Oh, he
how it
was
was
right.
going down.
The Olympics
Yeah.
happened. It sure did.
Right.
Suga is on his way out now. And
Yeah. He's
I don't know
gone.
if you caught it, but it was maybe 2 days ago. They
Right.
said that the Abe economics was a failure.
Mm.
They
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, they reported it on NHK, and uh, he's coming up in trials because of that party, cherry blossom
That
party
party, right?
that
Right.
he
Right. I know
had
about the party.
some type of mischief went down around that with his name in
Right.
it, and then
Right.
his wife has some mischief surrounding her name the previous year, right?
Wow.
So his Abe
Wow.
economics has just been announced that it was a failure. So I don't know. Abe looked like he in a little bit of
Wow.
trouble. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So yeah,
I,
the brother man was right. So far, he's predicted the truth. He know what he's talking about. Yep.
oh yeah, that's another guy I probably want to bring back and you have you do a little interview with him
Not a
because
problem.
I think I think that would be something dynamite. Yeah, yeah. Wow. I know Abe was trying to get out of it. That's why he left so abruptly. But you
Yeah,
know,
he in trouble.
and then wasn't Suga's son caught doing something similar? Hosting parties and giving out gifts and
Uh,
stuff.
yeah, but it well, that's kind of, in my opinion, that's mm,
That was a
thin
scapegoat.
line. That's a thin line to cross. I mean, if his
Mm,
son is in that business to throw parties or whatever the case may be, right? That's
mm.
what his son does, and it wasn't Suga being entertained. It was other government officials,
Officials,
right?
right?
So
But I
they
mean,
they they should get the blame. They know Suga. Come on, come on.
but it seemed like Suga was just caught up in the middle of all types of ongoing. His son was doing something, and then on the opposite side, during the pandemic where they had everybody in lockdown, not going out, a few of his members from cabinet was
Right.
caught at a hostess bar in Shinjuku.
Of
I mean, come
course, yeah.
on.
But that's everywhere. That's all these countries is
Yeah.
doing it. The government leadership, the ones who are governing, are rule breakers. They set rules, but they be
Mm.
breaking them. So yeah, I mean, only thing we can do is hold these people accountable. I mean, everybody seems to know what the problem is, but ain't nobody marched up on the right offices yet.
Mm.
But
Wow.
yeah, the brother was speaking truth. Suga's, he's on his way out, and they dragging him through the mud. And now the the race is between two men and two women.
And I told you who gonna get it. And I'm telling you, I was saying Taro, that's the man. He looked like the the perfect look for Japanese politician. He looked like he's smiling and had that certain look, and he's got the other hand under the table, taking the envelopes, putting that stuff in his pocket. I'm telling you, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, this is this is a tipping point for them
Mm.
because I believe Mrs. Noda,
Noda, yeah,
she's
yes.
ran already trying to get the leadership. So she's not new to the party as far as voicing her opinions about her ambitions to be the leader.
Mm.
The other lady, I don't know her name, but uh, I believe because this is how I see the tip point being. As far as in Japan, there's still an image internally of woman being oppressed. And if you're following the trend, it seems like anytime a man gets in trouble, he's instantly replaced by a woman,
Yeah, recently, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So uh, Abe just got thrown under
But
the I wouldn't even call it the bus. He under the jail. They just threw Abe under the jail, and Suga is barely making it out without any more of his uh, mischief ways coming to surface. So,
for now, yeah,
right.
yeah.
So, if they take the opportunity to clean up their image totally, they should or could throw in a woman in the position. And out of the
Which
two,
reverts back to
yeah,
mm,
out of the two, I would probably say Noda would probably be the better choice
Noda.
in my opinion. But I don't know. I haven't followed it really close. But that's why
Yeah,
I say this seems to me right now the tipping point where what is Japan really going to do? Are they going to continue the path of men as the leadership, or are they going to actually give the woman the chance? They gave the Tokyo government ship uh, to the lady who's there now, Miss Koike-san. So she's doing a decent job. The people ain't standing up on her residency talking about she doing them wrong yet. So this is where I see this is going to be a sticky situation
mm.
because I'm pretty sure a lot of
Well,
the women now are looking at the two women candidates as like, okay, this is our time to come together.
mm,
And then there's more women than men, so if they wanted to, they can just simply outvote the men.
and goes right back to this artistic statue. And
Uh,
maybe that's that might be the ultimate ordeal.
it
It'd be
could be.
something to continue to look into. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
So
the end of this month. We about to find out. We about to find
yeah, I was
out.
about to find out for
Yeah,
sure.
it's coming around the corner. And like I don't know whoever's in the seat. Uh, I think today they were talking about the importance of children, and a couple of them voiced their opinion on how they want to dedicate more funding towards families and building up safer places for children to be raised, which I'm all for.
Right.
But they didn't really, give any details on how they're gonna do what they say they're gonna do, as
So,
politicians usually do. So it,
yeah.
I have no idea who is going to win, but like I said, I just see it as a tipping point, and it's going to be interesting because whoever's in the seat, you already know they following orders anyway. So how much of
There
it
you
is really
go.
going to matter? I don't know, but it's
Right.
just that's why I'm saying they don't really have control anyway. So do they
Mm.
save face and place a man in the position, or do they just say, okay, well, we'll give it to the woman, and we don't have control anyway, so in their mind, I would assume it's like we can just blame her.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, that would end up as a very sticky situation because if that's the case, then by having a woman take that position for the downfall, it'll
Hmm.
just basically what it do. It kind of confirms that women should be in power. That would be the scapegoat scapegoat logic to that. Saying,
Right,
oh look, we gave a female a chance, and she was just as bad, if not worse, than the man. So,
right.
that was a bad, a
Affirmative
bad
action
turn.
don't work. Affirmative action, nah, that don't work. It don't work.
Yeah, exactly,
It don't
right.
work. It
But I
don't work.
mean, Nancy Pelosi said something different, wouldn't she? That's a whole nother
You
can
know.
of worms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting. Yeah, I don't really know how that's going to turn out, but it is trouble on the horizon for these people around here in the politic world, and I believe that's globally. It's what's going on as far as this epidemic is concerned. It has definitely shook the foundations of a lot of people's government structures, and they
right.
are in dire need of uh, DC damage control.
Yeah. Bro, that's it.
You know what
DC.
I'm saying? Damage control, and
Uh,
Japan is on shaky foundation as a country anyway, being on top of volcanoes. So they gotta, they gotta work it out. I'm on their side because I'm here, and
yeah,
I'm not saying I wish the downfall of the government totally, but it's like the government can only do so much, and they are heavily dependent on the government here. And if the government is not uh, sufficient enough to do half of what they say, then a lot of people are going to end up suffering more so than they probably originally thought.
politics makes strange bedfellows.
Uh,
You're not only talking about inside the country of Japan, but you got Korea shooting off missiles at this present date. Then they got this big problem with China and in the seas. They holding the spot where they say they don't supposed to be land. So I want to know what's up with that as well. So that's going to be a kind of interesting uh, international scenario they have to work around.
the
So
islands, Japan islands that China always seem to want to claim.
yeah, well, yeah, right now, what was it for the past couple of weeks?
Right.
They was in a what was it? They was by the islands where that Japan was. They said that they have ownership of, and then
Right.
China said they was able to uh, travel within these waters of these certain areas, and they had some military boats there for the past couple of weeks. So I wonder obtaining these waters. So we'll see how
Okay.
that's going to turn out. Yeah,
Well, I mean, that's another problem. The true history doesn't get spoken about, and
right.
that is part of their history between the Japanese and the Chinese and their kinship broken down relationships.
And Korea, because they
Well,
still talking about the
it's,
kidnapped children that
of
was taken as
course,
sentence.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
rightfully
deep.
so, rightfully so. I mean,
Yeah,
it is it's human nature. It seems to be. It doesn't really
yeah,
necessarily matter the uh, necessarily the pigmentation or color of us. It just
right.
seems that every continent has some common uh, way of doing bad things the same way. If you want
Yeah,
to look
that's
at it
it.
that way,
That's it.
it's like, oh
You're
wow, they
right.
do this here too, and it wasn't
Yeah,
good. It wasn't good from where I just came from, but yet here it is where I'm at.
right.
Yeah.
Let's see
So
how they gonna take it.
I don't know,
Oh, that's
man.
deep.
That like I said, that's because history is not really taught truthfully, and that probably is uh, apparent here in Japan as well as in America, and that's why America also has these problems around being able to come together as Americans instead of all these hyphenated names.
There you go. Hit this last one,
All
and
right,
then we can
let's see what they're
finalize it.
talking about. Yeah, I don't think I've heard this one yet. Okay. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, and I thought, I thought it would be interesting for like me to like kind of jump into your podcast, or because I'm half, Japanese and Taiwanese, right?
Right.
And at the same time, I was pretty much, I grew up in the States the longest. Before that, international schools.
Thank you for that little bit of info. And also, do you take the annual flu shot?
Annual flu shot? No.
Okay. All right. Thank you, caller, and welcome to Hips News. And I got a question. The question is, a lot of these corporations are playing God. I mean, as we're talking about that by these choices, a lot of these corporations are playing God with the common people. Transhumanism is integrate human with robots. So, in other words, you kind of become human 2.0. The science field, it's borderline.
Right.
It's pushing godly thinking. How do you?
So it's like, in a nutshell, it's like Terminator, right? You become robot and AI kind of thing.
Basically, what they're trying to do is that they want to create, they say, a new human species or a new species, which is mainly AI, particularly 70% AI and maybe 30% organic flesh or human. So
Like new society, right? Like robot society.
This is the new world order, or the new world that they want to create.
It's just like that book, Brave New Order or something,
The Brave New World, yeah, the Brave New World.
Brave New World, yeah.
Exactly. So these are the things that's coming about. How do you feel about this?
That's actually interesting because if I see what's going on in the world right now, for example, with Tesla and their 5G and stuff like that,
right?
I think this could be, it could be like, actually like the start of it, right? Because of this incident, or because of this event or pandemic, right?
Right.
People are going to rely on more like digital world, I guess.
Right.
And I think these huge corporate and conglomerates, they could be working on, pretty much, like you said, like, start working slowly, or from the bottom of, like, maybe turning human into robot in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not just 5G, but with all the microchip thing, and the whole AI like human that's been going around.
Right.
So yeah, I think this right now is like the year, or year, from now on and beyond, it could be a bunch of like trial and errors on like human, like per se, like it could be like human experiment, like not just installing microchips under our skin, but I'm pretty sure there's gonna be more to come.
I believe so as well. So
right.
Yeah. So again, do you think that by all this happening, do you think that these industries, or these big tech companies, or these corporations are pushing the boundaries too far? Do you think they're trying to play God?
Oh yeah, I absolutely think so. I mean, honestly, and this is like the perfect opportunity and the time to do it, right? So I'm pretty sure like in maybe within 5 years you'll see another some kind of advanced technology of how you may see like human actually, or turning into robot like kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, I could see that maybe within 5-10 years.
Yeah, well, their target is 2045. So
2045.
yes.
Okay, that's what you meant. 2045 transhumanism, right?
Yes, that's what. Yeah. If you have a chance to look it up, and then you get a chance to see exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'll definitely do. I'll look into it.
And thank you, and don't hesitate to call in or even drop a line or a comment and let us know exactly how you feel. You're always welcome. Thank you. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Likewise. Thank you for your time.
No problem. We'll see you soon.
Okay. See you.
All right.
Check 1 2.
1 2 1 2. Yeah.
Yeah, another good, interesting clip.
I was trying to get them to, actually recognize and see exactly what they're trying to do.
Right. I mean, he sounded like he got some understanding, but it was interesting. He was mentioning about the 5G, and
Right.
I don't know if you caught that today, but have you ever heard of this Quadrilateral Security Dialogue? They call this group the Quad, and it's Australia, India, Japan, and the United States. It's been set up by Mr. Abe. But on the news clip today, they were talking about they had a meeting, and they also were talking about 5G and how that all of the countries needed to come up with a way where they can combat the technology advantage that China has. So I don't know. So far, China is the leader in the usage of 5G, and that's why a lot of people say that links to the COVID. Okay, but I found that to be interesting, where they are banding together to increase the 5G technology in these particular countries as well. And I haven't had a chance to fully read through this.
2017 ASEAN summits in Manila. Now this was in the Philippines, and all four former members, led by Abe and Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and U.S. President Donald Trump. So this was during the Trump administration. They all band together. So that's kind of interesting. Uh, and, especially if you, in retrospect, if you're looking at, when as Dr. X called him, Orange Man was in office, he did this. He's doing this. Was connected to 5G. He make those comments about China.
Not at all. It comes from China.
Comes from China. It comes from
That's
China.
why.
And then also,
I want to be accurate.
in his administration as well, he had
Warp speed.
You got warp speed, and you also have the space program, the Space Force. So it's kind of interesting, and they're all dealing with technology.
Right. This is they was dealing with economic and military power. So on military power is nothing but technology.
There you go. Wow. Yeah, something to look into. And maybe we can deep dive into this as well in the coming future.
Yeah, I thought this was like I said. I just heard about this today on the news, and I was like, the Quad. What the hell? I heard about the G7. Now they got a Quad, and this is This is them. And as you can see, they're excluding not only China but also Russia,
Yes.
right? Yeah,
And you
that's
also
awesome.
don't have the UK is not there either. But I mean,
Yeah,
Australia is
but
part of the UK.
they're represented. They're
Yeah.
represented. The Australians are mainly from that area of the world, also. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Canadians.
yeah, it was very interesting. Okay, cool.
Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Hips News. We'd like to thank our callers. Vessel 1.
Vessel 2 sends peace and blessings to all those who tuned in. Make sure that you stay safe, take care of each other, and always be the best person you can be. Peace.